Hello everyone and welcome to Fearless Warriors Interviews with me, Hazels Journey, and today we have Hazel Addley, who is a life coach and an energy alignment method mentor, one of the first 16 in the world, and she's on a mission to change the face of anxiety. Hello Hazel.
Hi Cesar, thank you for having me.
You are welcome. It's great to have you on here. So tell me a bit about yourself and your story to how you got to where you are right now.
Okay, I'll keep it brief because I can talk a lot. So as you said, I'm a life coach, I'm an EAM mentor, but it didn't start there really, did it? But what I did, I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can overcome their anxiety and start living the quality of life that they deserve. Because I have been there. I have lived what I think of as a shrink-wrapped, anxiety-ridden life, where it was a result of my childhood. I got moved around a lot between family members as a child, and this caused me to live with quite a lot of stress. And I didn't really know I was living with stress, but it was there, layering up and up and up. And then as an adult, what I did was I moved in with a partner and just pulled everything really tight around me. And I didn't think of it as anxiety, but I was scared. I was scared of everything, pretty much. And I lived with that fear for years and years and years. And then I won't go into too much detail, but on my journey, something happened and it all changed. And I had that moment of clarity where it's like, oh, this is down to me to solve this. Because once I was aware of what was going on with me and how unhappy I was, I felt I owed it to myself to do what I needed to do to change it. And so that led me on a long winding road of personal development, which has led me up to now with EAM and coaching and loads of other really like sexy, exciting tools that I know I can bring to working with anxiety. So I am really living my passion now about helping others learn how to help themselves to feel better and to actually feel amazing, because I think we each deserve to feel that.
Yeah, that's true. We do all deserve to feel amazing.
Yeah,
very true. So it's been quite a journey for you, which is it's good to hear like the journey people take to get to where they are and get to what's important and their purpose and passion in life. So Thank you for sharing that. So today we are going to talk about anxiety and energy and how they are linked.
Yeah.
So before we go into more detail about that, when we talk about anxiety, what are we talking about?
So anxiety comes in many different forms and it's different for each person. So it is a difficult beast to just pin down. Mm-hmm. Formally, there are several different types. There's like generalized anxiety, OCD, post-traumatic stress, and there's some others as well, like phobias. So I'm thinking of kind of the whole thing, but my area of specialism is more around phobias and generalized anxiety rather than the more traumatic ends of the scale. But what we're talking about actually relates to all of it. Energy work and addressing the energy relates to everything that comes up for you, good and bad. So it's all relevant.
So tell me more about the energy side of things and how it's linked to anxiety, or how you can work with it to improve anxiety.
Gosh, there's so much I could say about energy. So with anxiety, the ways people approach it at the moment are through counselling, therapy, medication. There's a whole load of stuff to deal with the symptoms and support in that way, such as diet and exercise. And then there's the energetic side of things, and there are people out there that do energy work with it, different to what I do, and I think that all has its merits. I use a tool called the energy alignment method, and really when you're dealing with anxiety, you can deal with having a positive attitude. You can force yourself to do like a 10-step process to getting stages closer and closer to facing your fears. But as long as there's an energetic root still live, you will still have that anxiety in that form. So I'll give you a very brief example. If you think of an emotion linked to a memory, so you think back to this memory and you get a strong, like, brr, I don't know, whatever brr is, some sort of like negative emotional response. That emotion still has live energy in it, that memory has live energy in it. And so what you really want to do is neutralize that energy, so that then when you think of that memory, you're not re-triggering the same responses in you, same negative responses, and you can actually come to a place of calm and peace with it. So I don't know if that explains it enough, but I could go into more detail.
So I guess the energy that we're neutralizing is those experiences that are in our subconscious that are still affecting how we react to situations or react to things that are happening in our current life, in our current moment in life.
Yeah,
doesn't always make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't always make sense, and we tend to not know what's going on.
Yeah.
We'll know like the end of the process, like we'll have a reaction to something and we'll feel pretty crap. But when you work it back, there would be emotions going on. They would have been influenced by thoughts, on beliefs, and behind that, there's your energy. So it's all like in a chain, and we tend to experience it at the end of that chain rather than at the beginning. So the work I do is about working on all of that, but equally where we can go back to the beginning. So with my program, for instance, where you take your power back from anxiety, it is about, in part, going and looking for that the root causes, energetically speaking, so that they can be addressed rather than just dealing with the symptoms and the behaviours you've developed as a result of those symptoms.
That's interesting. So you mentioned your program there. I know this is starting soon, so tell us a little bit more about your program and what the journey will be for anyone who's on it.
Yeah, so my program is about kicking anxiety's ass and taking back your power. So, yay! It ties in with my philosophy, which is about living powerfully and loving life. And this isn't like a kind of really like muscle bound masculine energy. This is about a kind of more subtle, stronger, like more feminine energy that roots us and grounds us. And so the program is about helping you shift your anxiety around anxiety and stress and overwhelm and self-doubt and all the worries that come up, and helping you to start embracing living in a more confident and courageous way. So you might be quite far away from courageous, and that's fine, because by the time you get to the end of the 6-month journey, you will be feeling very different and you will be feeling very good. I hope that's the plan. You will be going through quite a transformation over the 6 months. So this is for people who want to really are ready to shift their anxiety and start to feel better. And that might sound a bit obvious, but you need to be at a point when you're ready, willing, and able to start taking action. This isn't for people who still really just want to be in the drama of it and who really want to play the kind of victim role. This is for people who are like, you know what, I've had enough. Enough's enough. I want to do something different. I want to make this change. But it's also for people who are looking for an all-natural solution to dealing with anxiety, because medication is one option, but maybe you would like to look at something alongside that or something as an alternative. And it's also another great thing about doing this sort of work with EAM is that you can address the anxiety without going into the story. So you don't have to spend hours and hours raking over every little detail of your past history and bringing up and churning that all up. You can actually address it quite quickly and concisely and neutralize it, like we said earlier, so you can feel better about those things. And the other thing I really want to mention before I forget is that I haven't actually shared is that the causes of your anxiety might not be what you think it is. When you come to energy,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, like you go, oh yeah, like I could say it's because of my childhood, and yes, a degree of it was, but I think sometimes there's more going on energetically than what we can fathom. So EAM is a great way to access that And you don't have to be all spiritual woo-woo. It is a very practical tool, but it does have a bit of weird wackiness involved. So you have to have an open mind and be willing to play along, and just sort of go with the flow with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, as you know, as another energy alignment method mentor.
It works. That's all that matters.
I know, right? It works. That's what I like, is that because it's also a tool that you can, once you learn it, so I know it'd be the same with your program, once you learn EAM, it's a tool for life, and you can use it to feel better anytime, anywhere. And that is what is also different to other offerings with anxiety, is that you're reliant on having a practitioner with you, or pre-created resources. EAM helps you deal with what's going on with you in a bespoke way, and that is so powerful.
That is, and you're right what you're saying. This is a tool that after the program finishes, they can still use when things come up for them, which is so valuable.
Yeah, I mean, we're still using it all the time, right?
Exactly.
And it's like, even though like you go on the journey to address what's been for you and what is for you, there is still, when you live powerfully, you are also living in a way that you are looking at your comfort zone, reaching the edge of that comfort zone and going, you know what, there's stuff I'd like that's beyond that. And it's not about pushing or forcing your comfort zone, it's about gently stretching it. So that when you do things, you've expanded your comfort zone so you can then comfortably do the things you want to do. So it's not feel the fear, do it anyway. It's feel the fear, release the fear, align to feeling awesome about it, and then do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of rocks.
Which is so much better because you're coming from a place of, like you said, calm and awesomeness rather than a place of fear. So
exactly. You've got to embrace the awesomeness.
Exactly. Cool. And I know you have a webinar coming up next week. So if people want to find out more about your program, they can join the free webinar. Is that right?
Yes, the webinar is about how to stop anxiety holding you back, and it's 3 steps to get you moving forwards.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a few things that I think of as myths of anxiety that people tell themselves, and I'm just going to be looking at those and sharing some really practical tools that you can use straight away to take that power back.
Ooh. So it's definitely worth signing up for that webinar.
Definitely come along to the webinar, and then you get to see a little bit about EAM and understand a few of the things that you might not realise are going on that are stopping you. And they're so subtle, and so I think everybody should know this stuff. I think it should be taught in schools. So I'm going to be sharing some real kind of like grassroots stuff that I believe everybody should be equipped with that knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Sounds amazing. And when is that webinar?
That is Tuesday evening. Is that Tuesday the 15th? At let me just check my calendar, just to be really organised. Tuesday the 15th at 7:30 p.m. UK time.
Cool. So I'll put a link to that. So if anyone wants to sign up and be on the webinar, you'll be able to join it from the link in the post. Cool. So if anyone wants to contact you, where should we send them?
I've got a Facebook page, Hazel Addley Coaching. I'm in there quite regularly, but I also have a Facebook tribe called Embrace Your Power Tribe, and in brackets, leave anxiety and stress behind. So I'm also in there very regularly. So that group is about learning to embrace your power, and yeah, it's a really good way to kind of share with others as you're evolving as well. So do come over and join.
Brilliant. Yeah, there's a good, I know Hazel's in there, so go to the pages and groups. Cool. So we're coming to the end. What we usually leave our audience with a wow factor.
Wow.
So a tip or advice or something they can take away and do right now. What would you like to wow with?
I don't know if it's wow, but I think there's a couple of things. I think it's key to become self-aware. So to just notice what's going on with you, and to just tune in, like, is this a negative feeling? Is this a positive feeling? And just get into the practice of noticing. No judgment, judgment's not helpful. It's just go, okay, that's that. And, just see it, shelve it, but just notice. And that's really useful because that's the first stage if you want to change things. And I just want to share a suggestion of something that you can do. You can do this every day. You can do it any moment you need to as well, about just stopping and either standing or sitting, but do it in a way where you're kind of quite upright, nice and hips are relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed. And you can shut your eyes and just imagine that you are under a waterfall and it's like coming down right on top of you, but it's also going all the way through you. And it's going all the way down through your body, all the way down through your hips, through your knees, down through your feet. And with it, it is taking all that stress and tension and the knots and energy feelings in your body of tension, taking it all the way down through into the ground. And then you'll feel it root all the way down into the center of the earth. So it's just taking that time to imagine it, doing a little body scan. And as you're doing it, you are soaking in this lovely energy from above, but you're also connected and rooted and grounded below, which is another form of filling up your energy. So that I would say, so anytime you need to just calm down, or build it in as a morning practice maybe, or an evening practice.
I think that is a wow factor because it just thinking about the waterfall and the water coming and just washing away all that stress and negativity, it's a lovely feeling. So
it really is.
It's a really good tip. So everyone can do that.
Yes.
Cool, brilliant. Well, it's been really great to have you on this interview and find out a bit more about you and find out a bit more about energy and how it's linked to anxiety. So it's been really great. And thank you so much for being on the interview.
Thank you, Cesar.
And everyone who's watching, we'll be back next week. And I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you go away and do your waterfall wow factor and check out Hazel. So see you next week. Bye.
Bye.